Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us on time, but we will wait for a couple minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes, because there is some issues with the YouTube. So please be patient and thank you for joining us. We will start in a minute or two. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. It's great to see you in such a big number. And just to go through our agenda, so same as every last Wednesday of the month, we have our Skills4All webinar, 2 o'clock CET, and I see that there is people from all around the world. So thank you for staying later, and thank you for waking up earlier to join our topic. And today's topic, we'll talk about high performance programming, as well as from our IIHF initiative, we'll talk about the International Coaching Symposium. So as every time, we have our stream on YouTube, and then we have a Zoom link as well. And you can find both of those links on our IIHF webpage as well if you don't receive the email from us. So we start with a little bit of introduction and housekeeping, which is always great pleasure for me to talk with you. And then we'll move to our main topic. And after the main topic, we'll go to IIHF initiative. And after that point, the YouTube and the recording will stop. And then we'll have a discussion and question and answer. So same as every time, if you want to join us for the discussions, you can still join us on Zoom link. So today's topic will be presented by Simon. It's a great pleasure to have him and great pleasure to have discussions with him. And he is a senior manager of athletics as well as a head of performance for the Swiss Hockey Federation as well as Fribourg, the club in Switzerland. So he will present us what they're doing and share his knowledge and share the ideas what they have in Switzerland. And it's really been a great pleasure to see what they're doing and to introduce him. And thank you, Simon, for joining us. I know that you have a really busy schedule and a lot of things on your plate, and it's great to have you here with us. If you can share your screen, hopefully everything works. We tried it, so now it should work. Let's try again.
Thank you, Marco, for the introduction. I hope everyone can hear me. Thanks for being with you guys. So let me just share my screen. I hope this will work. This one good so far, Marco? Can everyone?
Yes, yeah, it's perfect. We see the full screen and hear you really well.
Okay, welcome everyone. A pleasure to be with you guys. So this is the topic from this webinar. It's a little bit of best practice. I don't want to go too much into details, but I want to give you an overview a little bit about the whole big picture, a frame, and in my both roles, which I'm in, I give you a good overview about it. I'm 45 years old, and I'm since 15 years in the Department of Athletes Performance. I finished my studies in Switzerland in elite, a master education in elite sports, and I had in my past some great athletes which I could train with and which I could guide a little bit, and mainly in ball sport. But since I would say since 2015, very strong in ice hockey. I played myself as well ice hockey, never on a top level, but I played innebandy floorball. I don't know if you know it on a professional level for 13 years. So let's see if I can. Oh, Marco, I don't know.
Yeah.
My presentation, we tested it, but now I'm stuck somehow to go to the next slide. Let's see if I can go in again. Yeah, now it should go.
Yeah, let's try.
Good. Okay, as I already mentioned, I'm in.
Maybe you can start sharing your screen again.
Sorry for that. Let's see again. So before. See, okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Good. Okay. again, since 2018, I'm working for Fribourg-Gotteron, the National League club, and since last year for the Swiss Ice Hockey Federation as senior manager athletic or head of performance by Fribourg-Gotteron. Again, I had some great athletes which I could get along with. And now in these two roles, this year we reached a big step with Fribourg-Gotteron. We reached our first title in the Spengler Cup, this famous tournament in Davos, which was a big thing, a big release for the club, since this club is titleless since more than 80 years. And since 2018, which I work with Fribourg, we want to bring those values, this change of culture, of high performer culture into the club. But changing DNA and culture processes are not easy and takes a lot. The mindset, it's sometimes really tough. So we are very happy that we could reach that first title, and I hope it will be a booster for us for the coming next years as well. The same for sure I try to do with the federation, and little by little we want to transform those high performer values into the federation and into all our national teams. So Fribourg-Gotteron has a really great arena. We have opened that arena 2020, and in next year there will be the World Cup as well in that arena. It's really a very nice stadium. We can play in it. It's almost for 10,000 spectators. And we are the only club in Europe which is 100% or 99.9% sold out every game. There are no tickets for a game. So it's a pleasure to work on that place now for almost 7 years. It's again always when I want to go forward, I'm stuck somehow, Marco. I don't know what is the reason. You hear that sound?
Yeah. No sound. That's good, but no movement either.
Yeah. I don't know, when I go out, I get in, then but yeah, so I must do it again. That's strange, yeah, weird. Sorry for that, but now it goes. So I know it's not about football, but it's about high performance, and this picture for me, it's really the DNA of high performance. I mean, you may know that goal Ronaldo made. It was almost in the 70th minute, and his leg is on 2.30 meters up, and he did a distance of maybe 20 meters to get that ball. And in this picture, or that year, he was already 36 or something like that. And when this is not your mindset to be a high performer, you can never do something like that. So the awareness of athletic and to take care of your body and to host it. So this is really something with what that picture talks to me. It's not about Ronaldo, but it's about high performer culture. And sorry, I'm stuck again. I cannot. Can you share the presentation and you click for?
Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking now that we do it that way. That I would share the presentation.
Sorry for that. I don't know why. It's always, but each time I cannot move on.
Yeah, well, give me a second. I'll just do it that way. Yes. Share. There you go. Can you see it?
Yes, great.
Okay. That way.
So I always just tell you Marco next, and then we can go on.
Yeah. So
yes, please, yeah, Ronaldo. So yeah, high performance for sure has to do with hard work and not just talents, and to be really, I mean, aware of the things which are needed to be a high performer in all departments. Yes, please, next. So that's why in the process, it's so important that the inner why, the purpose, that you can answer why you are doing it, and not just the what, the result. This comes way later. Simon Sinek, a great book writer and speaker, he speaks about it, and that's why we want to really challenge our athletes, that we are not just forcing them from outside, so that they really can answer their why and why we want to work so hard, and we want to have those values which we live and push the whole year through. Next. So everything starts with a good warm-up, and I think this is really a chance to be a high performer, because this 15, 20 minutes, you can create your routines, you can bring so good things in it, which you can benefit for it. For me, it's really something like hygienic. Exactly. So yeah, that's good. But for sure, it's not just about movements or training load. It's the mindset, the nutrition department, the recovery, which gives you a long-term success, and for sure the training load. So now I really would like to speak a little bit about all departments, which we are doing some examples from best practice. So when you speak about the profile of the athletic profile of an athlete, I think it's really important that you start with a good foundation, which is functional movement. Yes, next. Sorry, one that you have been, yes. So when you can remember that picture from Ronaldo, when he's not having that range of motion, he can never have that straight leg up on 2.30 m. So the functional movement routine is really a foundation. And then on that, for sure, you create the power, the explosivity, the strength, the speed. And then for sure, the profile is relaying very quick to good concepts. It's not that it must be, sorry, you are too quick. Just one back, please. Yeah, and no, one more. Yes, this one. So it's not just that you must have all those components in that row, but it's important that you structure your concepts. Now, when we speak a little bit more about physical conditions or physical conditioning, that you have a clear picture what you want to do, some form rolling movements, some activation of hip and glutes and core, and then some activation of neuronal systems and plyometrics, explosive stuff, high power, heavy load, and energy system development. So to be aware of a clear concept, I think it's one of the main topics when we just focus the athletic department. Good, next. Yes, next. Yes, next. Yeah, so sorry for that. Not everything is in English, but it was too busy but it's easy. So here, I really like this chart, which is saying when you have a good athletic foundation, you can compensate in your technical or tactical or mental skills. And for sure, we like to bring to our athletes, look, yes, maybe you are so gifted in technically or tactically that you can compensate the athletic potential, but it's also on the other side, it's quite easy to reach a good athletic foundation, which you can benefit in the other areas. Now, these days, you must not be a genius to see how quick the game is internationally, how much of athletic is in it. When you watch NHL games from 1980, you think it's a beer league who is playing. And when you see these days how much intensity it is in the sport, I mean, not just ice hockey, you can also take football as an example. So the athletic foundation is so important. That's why we must bring that to the players, and you can remember the golden circle. When they can see it, when they can answer their inner why, then we have reached already a lot. Next one, please. And then it gets along with a good principle of progression. I mean, when there is too much high loads or not enough loads, for sure you will never reach a good progression. And in the end, we want to train to get better. So this has to do a lot of with high performance, that we have a really smart progression. Yes, please, next. And this is my observation for the last 15 years, that coaches mix a lot about, they maybe mean volumina, but they think it's intensity. So they mix this easy chart that over high volumina, you are losing intensity. And when I see those days games, you are winning games with a lot of intensity. Yes, please, next one. And yes, the super compensation or the progression is a very important part. So that's why our planning, our yearly planning, our macro cycles must be very smart, that we increase our performance baseline. Yes, and yeah, that we have this super compensation, not going, yes, next one, into a negative cycle, and we are just having chronic loads, which will lead to zero output, even make the athletes fragile, and they are getting injured or they are so tired. So for sure, this one belongs very close to high performance values. Then something which is very difficult, but very important, the stress level, the performance output, the optimum performance output in a team sport. It's even way more difficult, that you reach that point which is fitting, and you almost can never do it. When you are in the final, some are too nervous, others are still relaxed. But still, that the players are aware of it and what they must do, that they are going there. This is really an important point for us and to bring to the athletes. Yes. So then as well, the awareness of the profile, we are still by that ice hockey profile. So what is max force? Where is really velocity and endurance? What kind of endurance you're needing? There it's as well for us so important that players are understanding that, and they are not mixing it too much, and that they know their deficit or their potential where they can invest more. So that's why for sure we as well have sport management tools, and we record the heart rate, and we want to see how often they are in anaerobe lactate seed or highest zones, that we know, yeah, there is intensity, or no, it's going too low intensity. So yeah, we as you may all know, we have that difficulty that we have the profile of ice hockey player. Let's say this is an example of a first period, and he had 12 shifts, and you want to have those shifts all out, short and high intensity, and his heart rate goes up to the max, he's coming down, and that he has that capacity to really to recover very quick. So, and still you want to have him as much as possible explosive and speedy, and still that he can continue over the whole season, over the whole game. This is always a challenge, or it's, I think even after 15 years, I can, some years I'm focusing a little bit more on cardio, on cardio loads, and the next year a little bit more again on max power or explosivity. And still the combination is still so interesting, to where you have your holistic team. in the aerobic capacity. Yes. So I just want to show you a little bit the performance diagnostic, or like what we as well do by the federation, or what we figured out over the last years. And here it's a little bit, it's too small, but here is a linear sprint, 30 meters on the ice, and on the bottom is the jumps. It's a counter movement jump, PPO mass related to the body weight. So you can see this graph shows very good that those which are sprinting linear really fast. Let's take an example of those points really on the right side. Yes, those two lower ones. So you can see these guys, they are running under 4 seconds, and they are jumping on the jumping plate. Their power output is so tremendous. So there is a very high correlation. That's why we are doing a lot of testings in those areas which are making sense. Yes, please, next one. So here again, when you see the jumping play, the PPO mass, again 70-75, and the isometric, the max power. So you can also see that to being strong and to be explosive is correlating so good. And that's why we want to have strong players, but we must invest in strongness, in max power, but as well in explosivity, and that those two components are so important, and the stats and the science are showing that they are relating so good to the profile. Good. The next one which I want to show you is from Swiss Ice Hockey Federation, which we just set up our benchmarks, that we say this is from prospects, and this is a counter movement jump, and you see the benchmarks. We said we need more explosive players, and over the years, the latest 4 years, sadly I don't could find them, or I have, but you see it from 2011 to 19 how the benchmark or the average went up. And this is really a point which we are bringing in by the national teams, that we set those benchmarks and we say this is really a target everyone must reach, that we are getting almost 60 kilowatt per PPO mass per kilogram, because it's so important that they are explosive and fast. And we are really happy that we could reach over the years to lift up everyone, or many of them. Same in sprint capacity, linear sprint, that we, as I said in the chart before, how good this is correlating, explosivity on the force plate and the linear sprint. And as you can see, we are going down, and that's why we are working in a good direction. And this has to do a lot with the high performers value we are standing for. Next one. And this study I like a lot, because this one is showing it very good. So they researched that the top team in the linear sprint on the ice is way more homogeneous than not top teams, as you may not that sharp, but you see as well the under 20. So you see the benchmark, it's the average of the team, of not the top team, is much lower, and it's not that homogeneous as a top team. Sadly, they have not done it with Switzerland, but I'm sure we would be almost there where Finland is. Almost. No, just kidding. Good. Then what as well belongs a lot to high performer values. It's the recovery department, which we want to invest and which we are doing in Fribourg as well as so in the federation. That players are knowing that not just the training load, but as well the recovery department is so important. Yes, please. Next one. So sorry for that not everything is in English, but for sure, passive recovery. We are really getting hard to the players that they get always 8 hours of sleep. And when we have back-to-back games, we are often skip practice because we know number one is sleep to really overcome the chronic loads and the inflammation parts. And then for sure you have tools with breathing, relaxing and massage and active recovery. Then for sure with all the different things what you can cold bath and micro ingredients, nutrition and stretching and back. So we are really on their neck that they are aware of those things. So again, number one, is the sleep. We are really pushing hard that we can overcome season. And this year we had 3 competitions with the Champions League, the European Hockey Champions League, and with the regular season, with the season in Switzerland, and with the Spengler Cup, like we can get to 80 games. So for sure, they must have good sleep habits. That's very important. Next one, yeah. So again, by the nutrition, we really try to have really a top by nutrition that we give them. Yes, very clean and good food we serve them, and for sure we really try to empower them how important it is. And especially we are, yes please, next one, we are doing a lot of research as well in for sure they must understand the macro ingredients that they have, the recovery shakes after the sessions, that they fill up their macro ingredients, that they have enough of carbohydrates and proteins. But as well on the micro ingredients, we are really trying our very best that we know we give them. We always test their blood values that twice a year, that we see okay how it's looking like with micro ingredients. Do they have enough of my magnesium level, of zinc level, of vitamin D? How it's looking with omega-3? Is it enough there to already support anti-inflammation processes? So this is really something what I think we are doing not enough yet in ice hockey. Football is way further there. So the micro ingredients is something what we have so much of potential to increase. And there we want to as well educate them that they understand what is to fuel, to fill up. So macro ingredients, good quality food. What is to protect? Okay, healthy fats. What is to prevent, to be stable, to have a good immune system, to not get sick. Like as I mentioned with zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, aronia berries or moringa trees or stuff like that. Then to build up, how can they gain weight when they have not enough protein to boost after the games, that they get quick the cardio load, the carbohydrate load, and for sure that they drink, that they don't dehydrate at games. And we teach them in pre-games and post-games what they must take, and all comes back to that golden circle, that they understand those things, that we are not want to punish them, or that they really know it. And I would say so far the last years we could really do well with not that much of injuries, not much of sick guys as well. In the Corona years, we went through it very, very good. and it has to do a lot with prevention. Yes, please, next one. So that's why I as well clearly define, it's just an example of supplements for us, for the pros. What are must-haves, and I mean must-haves, and some which are nice to have. And we try to have very high doses there. As I said, we are working together with sport labs, and we know, okay, this dose is really important for athletes with those heavy loads. So that's really something which is very, very important. Yes, for sure, when you are not by the pros, you can say, yeah, maybe supplements, it's just nice to have, but on a pro level, there are subs which are must-haves. Yes, then for sure, as well, we try to be in the positioning systems or the sport management system, the LPS we have at the rink. We are working together with Catapult. Yes, please, next one. And we try to have this evaluation of monitoring that we know how players are feeling, internal and external, from the workload they delivered, not just by to ask them how are you feeling, so that we really measure those data and that we can say, yes, it was internal that hard, and he delivered that working output. That this is that we see it on the paper. Yes, please, next one. So this means as well we must have a common language. It's just an example. Please, next one. How we are talking with the coaches, with the on-ice coaches, that we see, okay, is it very smooth or is it very, very linear speed? Again, this is a little bit reflecting that slide before, volumina versus intensity, that coaches are maybe sometimes better understand. What is it? Is it the whole tissue load, or is it the density or volumina based? So this is as well very important in high performer values, that we have a common language. Yes, next one. Yes. So Catapult, just as not that much important, but just to show who is working with them. And yes, next one. I think it's giving us a good value, the Clear Sky system, which we are having, that we can really measure every position they are like the G's, the velocity, the deacceleration and the acceleration, and then total loads, so that we can get those information to have a good progression and a good super compensation in the end to steer their loads. Yes, this is just some of the metrics which we are taking. Skating loads, yeah, please, next one. For sure, you have many more metrics which you can take. We have our reports together. Yes, next one. So like total loads and just some examples. Yes, please, next one. That we see all the players, okay, how hard was their player load for that practice or that game? What was the player load per minute, or as well the internal stimulus, the heart rate exhaustion, which is a capacity for their inner using, or like how heavy it was for them, again, like how often they have been in the highest heart rate zone. So this load management these days is so important. Yes, next one. And then for sure as well, load management on big pictures over the weeks, and for sure over a macro cycle over the whole season, to see, okay, the load was so high, we must go down, that we have good stimulus of the load management. Yeah, so just this should be clear. This is just why we are using the LPS systems in the practice, and where the sport is as well a little bit going with those technologies, and this will yeah, this will help in the end for sure. That's the way to go to implement all those smart decisions and high performer values. And that's why I'm glad that we took those decisions some years ago. Yeah. And so this is almost the end. Yeah, just a short overview about some high performers values, or which we try to implement, especially for sure best practice out of the club, but as well in the national team or in the federation. We are going further the next years and next time, hopefully to win other titles, medals.
Great, thank you for sharing. We found a way to work it out even with some technical difficulties. Let me now go back to share my screen, please. Okay, second. Can you see my screen? Awesome, perfect. So, excuse me. So the next thing, what we want to share from the IIHF, it's connected to the high performance, but as well as development and all the other topics as well. Every year during the IIHF World Championships of the top division, we are hosting an international coaching symposium together with the country host. And this year the World Championships are in Sweden and Denmark. Sweden is the main country hosting it. So we will have a international coaching symposium on 17th and 18th of May, and the registration has been open since a few weeks ago, and it will be a 2 days long seminar providing two different pathways. So some of the keynote speakers will be all together, and then some of the speakers will separate into different sections. One section will be coaching, and another section will be goalie coaching. And here you can find a list of some of the speakers who already confirmed from different parts of the world and a couple different sports, of course, mainly ice hockey, but we'll have from USA hockey all the way to Australia, and the people from Sweden as well as Finland and all around the Europe and the world. As well as we will have a NHL coaches association and coaches site providing us with speakers as well later on. So we highly encourage you to register yourself or register coaches from your association, and during those days of the seminar, with the price that you pay, you get 3 tickets for 3 different games on those dates, as well as you can book a hotel there through the link, or you can book another ticket for the game that is additional pay. So this is from our side something that we are promoting every year, and then we are holding every year, hosting it with the MNA who is in charge of the World Championship as well. So we really highly encourage everybody who is able to join the seminar and to get extra knowledge, as well as to share their experience and meet new people and really exchange those ideas and exchange the knowledge from all around the world. And I can already see some of you who joined us here on this webinar. I've seen you there as well on the different coaching symposiums. So really great to see familiar faces and share what's happening through what are the news in ice hockey world. So all our webinars, all our Skills4All webinars are recorded, and all the presentations in a PDF form are posted on our webpage as well. So again, you can scan the QR code, or you can find it on our webpage, and there you can see all the recordings that were already done through last couple seasons. And our next webinar will be in 26th of March, and we will talk more about the national team programming. And in those national team programming, what we have Igor, who is working with the Slovakian national teams and who is a coaching development manager as well as the video coach for the men's national team. So wearing a couple different hats, and he will talk about how do they start with U16 national team in Slovakia, and what is their player pathway all the way to adults, all the way to men's or women's national team, and how is their planning and programming of the national teams go. So really excited for that webinar as well, which will happen in a month. And same as every time, now it's soon the end for our YouTube listeners. So for everybody on YouTube, again, thank you for listening and thank you for being part of this. If you still want to join us for the discussion and maybe some questions and hopefully we get some answers from Simon, you are more than welcome to join us. So again, there is a link or the QR code for our Skills4All webinars, and all the webinars as well as the link for the Zoom is posted on our posted on our webpage. But you can scan the picture of the QR code to get there. And you can send me an email, so I will put you in the emailing list, so you will get the direct email for our webinars about 10 days prior to the webinar. So thank you everybody on YouTube for listening, and we will now disconnect the YouTube as well, stop recording.